Hey everyone, hey world, listen. Today, I'm so super excited about today's topic. So welcome to Before and After Yes I Do. It's gonna be a little lengthy, but you're gonna have to a little lengthy, so please bear with me. But you're gonna love this topic. You're gonna love this topic. So how are you doing out there? A brand new week. I use this Memorial Day to actually remember as many as were martyred, all the gospel, people that died for the sake of what we are fighting for. So I just want to appreciate the apostles that have gone and the ones who are still fighting right now, as many who have given their lives for the sake of the gospel. Thank God for them. That's why we are here today. But listen, before and after yes I do. Listen, join me. Help me tag and love somebody here. Today I'm going to talk about Joy Inc. What is your name? I'm talking about Joy Inc. today. That is me. What is your name? Put Inc. You are incorporated. You are an entity. So listen, when I say today's going to be exciting. Before and after yes I do today, put your name in there. So if you're Jane Inc., if you're Robert Inc., you're Peter Inc., you're Rachel Inc., it is you. It is you. Time for board meeting. You are an entity. You are an organism. You are growing. You are you're an organization all by yourself, because you listen, you make profit or you lose. That's why you have to look at yourself and your life as an organization, as a PLC, as an LLC, as an Inc. And you will understand as we dig into today's topic of time for board meeting. When was the last time you actually took a board meeting for yourself? What do I mean as a board meeting? Why do companies have board meetings? Why do companies decide, every year or every 6 months or every quarter, we're going to have a team meeting, we're going to have a board meeting, we're going to have a retreat, organizational retreat of whether it's high, the high level management or the middle level management, or maybe even just a regular team. Sometimes we come together, we say we're doing what? We are huddling. We do huddles. We want to know what's going on so we can move to the next level. So even in your life, this is something we don't always think about. We have to take account of your life. Hey, how are you? Welcome. This is Joy Inc. This is me encouraging you to do the same thing. Me encouraging you to have a board meeting by yourself, because you are an entity, you are an organism, you are an organization all by yourself. You bring in money, you lose money. So that makes you an entity. Don't just let your company alone where you work do the board meeting. You also have to sit down and do a board meeting, whether before or after. So let's go to before, because I'm going to also touch on after. Before, so you're in a relationship. Before you say yes I do, it's been 6 months and you're just waiting for the guy to pop the question. And I say, by the time you sit down for 6 months, all you're doing is a waiting game. I tell people, in 6 months you can have a certification. Guess what? That's going to increase your financial power. Somebody hear me out there? Because there's this story of my dear, I don't know, I like this girl. She's been waiting for this guy. She waited for how many years? And while she was in the waiting game, the guy was just giving other people belay. You know what I'm saying? If you're from my side of the world, you know what I'm talking about. You were just giving other people belay, but she's still waiting. She was still waiting, and why you have the number 5 and number 7 child or number 14 child? You're waiting 6 months, and the guy has not said anything. Think about 6 months. 6 months of your life on hold, especially as a female. You could get a certification. So don't just play the waiting game. Do a board meeting with yourself. After, you have to, reassess your relationship. You just can't be waiting. Oh, he's going to say, yes, I do. Okay, so 6 months, he has not said anything. Do a board meeting with yourself. Do you want to keep doing this? Do you want to keep holding on? Do you want to keep hanging on? How is this benefiting you to just sit on hold for 6 months? You're just on hold. So I always say again, so a relationship again go for 1 year, So 1 year you can have another kind of certification where you can increase your financial power. But you're in this you're in that relationship for 1 year. He has not said will you or won't you. He has not, whenever you ask him, oh, so where are we going? So he's like, I don't know. I really have not made up my mind yet. So that's why you have to have a board meeting with yourself. See, you have to love yourself. You have to say, am I going to keep waiting? This is 1 year. Where do I want to be in the next 1 year? You have to have a board meeting with yourself. Joy Inc., John Inc., Janet Inc., Paul Inc., Peter Inc. You have to have a board meeting with yourself. You're just going out with a girl and you're trying to see whether she's gonna say yes, you're not sure, and there's nothing in that can even let you pop the question, because the way she's running her life. 1 year, 2 years, that's a diploma right there. 2 years diploma. If you're in a relationship that you don't know where it's going to be, yes I do, no I do, there's nothing. Especially when you're like in your 30s, when you're 21, 22, just about to start life. I understand that one. Even at 22 self, you should know that, okay, where do I want to go? Have a board meeting with yourself. In 2 years, in 3 years, I need a ring on this finger, or no, I don't. So you have to have a board meeting with yourself. The one I hate the most is 4 years. I hear people say I was in a relationship for 4 years and 5 years. For what? For what? With 4 years, you can have a bachelor's degree. No, think of all the sleepless nights, all the I will come, I will not come, all the cry that you cry, all the disappointment and act 8, all the stuff that going through. That energy, you can have channeled that energy of somebody disappointing you to study and get a bachelor's degree. 4 years. 4 solid years in a relationship. No, have a board meeting with yourself. Like, it's time to have a board meeting. Go to your dining table, get your chair and sit down and say, get my notebook, I'm going to have a board meeting. After 1 year relationship, I'm going to have a board meeting. But have a board meeting with yourself. Say, where is this relationship going? And you can have a board meeting after you have with yourself first. Then you can have with the guy and say, okay, oh boy, lady, what are we doing? Okay, because 4 years with you, I could get a bachelor's degree. 2 years with you, I could get a diploma. Even 6 months with you, I can get a certificate. Because listen, relationship takes your time. So nobody should be able to take your time like that. You spend your time with them, time you can use to study, time you can use to, maybe get one skill or the other. That time is spent there. That time, the time you're supposed to use to, make yourself happy, you're spending because somebody will make you sad today, make you happy tomorrow, you're, up and down. So relationship takes work and takes a lot out of you. So I'm suggesting that you should have a board meeting with yourself. I'm suggesting that you should have a board meeting also with whoever, after you have a board meeting with yourself. Because at the board meeting, you're going to decide some stuff. You're going to reconnect with yourself. You're going to re-engage yourself. Where are you going to set goals for yourself? That in 2023, this is where I want to be. In 2024, I expect this to happen. So you have a board meeting with yourself. What do you want? You don't just depend on what somebody else wants for you, but it is, what do you want? Do you have a goal? Do you have a dream? When you have a board meeting with yourself, that's when you're going to actually know what your goal and your dreams are. You don't just, you're just on the wave of somebody else. No. You got to have a board meeting with yourself. And after yourself, they have a board meeting with whoever it is that you're looking at your relationship with. So let's come to after I said I do, because this is before and after. So in after I said I do, most people forget that marriage is also an organism. Marriage grows. See, a lot of people get out of marriage because nobody tended to the marriage. Everybody was just on their own. There was no board meeting. There was no board retreats. How many of you who are married out there go on retreats with your spouses? This is very important to me, because my little girl, the parents just called, the mother called me and said, guess what your daughter did? Your daughter sent me and the daddy a text that we need to have a family meeting. I was like, what? Yes, my girl, she was tired of how the family was going. She sent the daddy and the mommy. She's at work, but she sent them and said, I want to have a family meeting with you all. Yes, she did. So she decided to have the board meeting with the parents. Whereas, this could have been solved if the parents were regularly having board meeting. Sometimes we get married and we stop having board meeting. So before you do, you have to have a plan also in your, when you're discussing, how are we going to have a board meeting? Because to keep this company running, there is no company that runs without a board meeting. There has to be a board meeting. There has to be a leaders retreat. Even churches have leaders retreat. So you come to marriages, you don't have your marriage retreat, you don't have, husband and wife retreat. Everybody is just working, and life is so busy. And because life is so busy and because so many things happen, that's why you have to be intentional that after I have to plan a retreat. So this comes before you enter it. You have to have that plan set up that, this is what we're going to be doing as our retreat. So after I do, you must have a retreat. So question for you, when was the last time you took your wife out? When was the last time you took your husband out? When was the last time you took a weekend getaway? Because we are so busy. It's not in our plan. Well, I'm encouraging you. It's never too late to start, and never say, oh, because I never did it. Maybe because you never saw your parents do it. So I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm making money. I always tell people, by the time you finish making the money and you look behind you, your family is already gone because you took your time to be making only money. Look at who is watching. Yes, you took your time to be making only money. So there's a need for family retreat, which is I call board meeting. See, when you have your board meeting, you rediscover the vision. You ask the husband, why did you marry me? And I think I said one of my casts. Then the husband will say, why did you say yes? There must be something that made you say, oh, will you marry me? And for the woman, there was something that made you say, yes, I will. So we have to rediscover. That is what we rediscover at the board meeting. Because every company that is failing, check it out, they don't have regular board meeting. But when we go to the board meeting or the leaders retreat or the whatever they call it, board retreat, then the leadership will discover, okay, our company is not doing well. Let's discover the vision for which we set up this company. And even sometimes they change the mission statement. They change the vision statement, because if this mission statement is not working for us, let us change it. That is all done at the leaders retreat or the board retreat or the board meeting. We cannot, in a relationship, not have board meeting. When we forget to take care of this, it is a matter of down the line, it's going to catch up with us. So, if you are kind of slacked, or if you have never really done it, where you go on a weekend getaway, you better start to do it. It is never too late to start. When you have board meeting, you re-engage your spouse, you re-engage your husband, you re-engage your wife to let them know they are important, to let that spouse know he or she is important. That is what board meeting do. When people go to board meeting, they re-engage their management to let them know they are important. So when they go back, they are re-energized to continue the vision of that company. You want your marriage to continue, you need a board retreat. You need a board meeting where you re-engage and you re-engage and re-energize your relationship. It is what we have to do. Like I will keep saying through this, that it is never too late to start. Forget that, okay, you have not done it for the past 20 years, that's fine. You see, better late than sorry is what we say. Better late than sorry. So you can start. Board meeting is also a good time where you introduce and discuss special topics. There's some stuff, especially if you're in a home where, like in my house, there is always crowd in my house. There's a way you cannot dress in your house because there's always people in your house. So your retreat, your weekend getaway, or the board meeting. Let's call it board meeting because the head of the house and the woman, the king and the queen, are going on a board retreat. So these are times where you can discuss and introduce topics. It's a very good time where you can, forget about the world. And because before the world, it was just the two of you. When you said, will you marry me? It was the two of you. When you said, yes, I do, it was just the two of you. And suddenly life hits, man. Life hits. We can begin to work and you begin to jack it because you got to pay bills, because you got to, do this. There's sometimes some things you just have to let some things go. Sometimes you just have to let some money go. You have to let somebody, because if you don't do that, like I said, it's a matter of time. It's going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up with that organization. It's going to catch up with that marriage in future. And we see a lot of marriages fall and disintegrate just because there has been no board meeting. Some people, since they married, in 30 years, there's been no board meeting. People never went on honeymoon. There's never been no board meeting. And I think I said it one time that in the Jewish culture, olden culture, I don't know if they still do it now, when a couple get married for 1 year off, they take a 1 year sabbatical, because that's a good board retreat. For what? So to discover the vision, to re-engage, and a good time to introduce and discuss special topics. What special topic can you discuss? People come back from work and they just sit down on the chair and they are tired, they watch TV, eat, and go to bed. No special topics to discuss, because by the time you open your mouth, the husband has gone, snored off, or the wife has slept, or you're like, you know what, that's it, I'm done. Or then during the day, you're texting, they are busy at work, they can't really talk to you, they're busy, and then weekend, especially people that go to church weekend, you're in church, you're Sunday, at the end of the week, you really have not had time. So it has to be intentional. If you want your marriage to last, you have to be intentional. And I always say, people, it's not just one person. It is two people that got married, not one. There's no marriage that is one person. One person say, will you? Another person say, yes, I do. So it's two. So it takes two to tango. So if you just want the wife to work it, and the husband just want the wife just want the husband to work it, it's not going to work. Change comes with starting from one person. So that means I must be willing and ready to change, and you must be willing and ready to change. So it's the same thing when you go to counseling. You can go to counseling for all I care, but if one party is not ready to change, it's not going to work. So going to counseling means both of you are ready. So that's also a kind of board retreat. Because sometimes even some companies, sometimes they will bring external people in to kind of give speeches, that's why people, motivational speakers, they make a lot of money, to come and ginger the company, because we want this company in 2 years, we want to make this kind of money. So they bring somebody in to bring skills that they do not have. Sometimes when a husband and wife eat a rock, that means they can't solve what is going on. So what you're going to do, you might want to bring an external person in, which is that a counselor or marriage, whatever you want to call them, in that is not biased, but the husband and the wife have to be ready and willing to have that board meeting, board retreat. It comes in different shapes and sizes. And then a board retreat or board meeting also gives the couple time to reconnect. Like I said, the life is so busy. Everybody is so busy. Everybody listen, I don't even understand. Everybody is so busy running this rat race. All we're trying to get is money. Man, I want to build that big house. I want to have this money in my savings. I want to do this. I want to do that. Sometimes some things, you have to what, this year, I'm good. That car, I don't want it right now. Let me focus on something that is more important. And relationship is more important than things. Relationship is more important than things. Something did happen one time where I heard somebody say the wife, he will not expect much from the wife or his mother, because the mother did not really have enough credit with the wife. So it is what you put in a relationship that comes out. Let's not play the victim. No victim in any relationship. Both people are responsible. So it is what you put in. It is what the wife puts in, she's going to get out. Whatever the husband puts in, that's what he's going to get out. Bible says, whatever you sow, you will reap. If you sow love, you're going to get love. You sow joy, you're going to get joy. You sow peace, you're going to get peace. Whatever you sow. It's not just money is not everything. It's not about, I'm paying all the bills, I'm paying the mortgage, I bought a house, I gave you a car, I did this, I did that. Sometimes women don't even want all of these things. Unfortunately, there's some women that live on things, but sometimes there's some women that don't live on anything. Especially when she's making her own money, she's not really dependent on you for anything. So in that case, you as a husband have to try to find a way. Okay, what else can I do for this woman? Okay, so yeah, so the board meeting or board retreat helps the couple, gives them a time to reconnect. It's also re-energizes the relationship. You see people that go away, when they come back, they're like fire in that company. Everything begin to clean up. Everybody begin to clean up. Then the managers come to the unit because they are coming from that retreat. I know when my job, when they go on the retreat and they come back, my boss will always come back with something. Okay, put that on the board. This is what we discussed. Okay, this is not the vision. This is because they always come up with different themes for the year. Once they go on that retreat, I know when they're coming back, there's something for us to do. So that's how it is. When you go on that retreat and you come back, you find out that your wife just begins to be transformed. Maybe there's a way she did not used to do stuff before, she suddenly begins to do it. Maybe the husband too, because there's a way she didn't used to do stuff because you've had time to introduce and discuss special topics. And so when you come back, you're re-energized for another how many years? I think I was hearing what's his name? Tu Baba and Annie. I think they were doing, what were they doing? What did they call this thing? Oh my God, 10 years. I think their wedding anniversary was 10 years. So he was saying, oh, for another 10 years. You see, so that's where you have that vision. That's where you discuss that. Okay, for another you have to have a goal for 10 years, another 20 years. So it's good. It's a good thing. I will always I'm encouraging you. If you've not had any board meeting or board retreat, think about it. Don't think about retreat at I don't even know, but it's all good. My friend asked me recently, she's like, what do you like to eat? I was like, I'm kind of person I eat anything. Like, I have no favorite. If you know me very well, I don't care. I can survive in the jungle because that's just the way I am. So she said, but you have to have something special. I said, I don't. Give me seafood, I eat. Give me this, I eat. Give me that, I eat. Whatever it is, give me, I'll eat. Because, to me, it's food. Let's just eat it. So she's like, wait, so when does your husband take you out to go and eat? I say, Mama Niece. For those of you that know Mama Niece, say, hey, now they happen. Mama Niece, what's up? Okay, so she was like, no, Joy, you got to do better. I know, but waiting person you do, but it's all good. So yeah, the time of board meeting is a time of sharing in past and future successes. This is very important. Just like you, before you say I do, you're having Joy Inc. Joy PLC can sit down and do a board meeting by myself. So the same thing, you bring your successes, you bring your, your failures, your past, or even your past failures or your past successes, and then where am I going in the next 10 years? So in the next 4 years, I must have my DMP, or in the next, I must have my bachelor's, I must have my master's. In the next 4 years, I must travel to this place. Have a PLC by yourself, have a board meeting by yourself, because that gives you a vision. Once you can have that vision, sometimes that's what you need to keep living. So people are depressed because they really don't have a vision for themselves. So when you're depressed, just get it. It's time for Joy PLC. Whenever you feel that you're stagnant, listen to this. Whenever you feel that you're stagnant, just like the companies, when they feel that they're not making much profit, when your company is running for 5 years and you're like, this is not the budget for the profit that I needed, we're not really meeting that profit margin. When they go on a board retreat, that's when you're going to sit down. You're going to share your past experiences, your past successes, your past failures. And you're like, okay, what are my future? What is my goal for the next 2 years? Next 2 years, I'm going to get my diploma. Next 3 years, I'm going to make sure that I'm enrolled in Next 3 years, in fact, in the next 1 year, I need to get married. I was just talking to my nephew. He's like, Auntie, I have good news for you. I'm like, Shelley. Auntie, I'm getting married. I was like, whoa, Shelley. Where's the apple? I'm like, how? Where? I didn't even smell it. He said, yes, because I'm like, so when he said December, I'm like, real? 6 months? Yeah. You have to have a goal that, okay, in December, the ring must be there. You can't be going out with a man and 1 year, 2 years, the man is still looking like nothing will happen. Come on, you are blocking my view. You are blocking some people from, some people are just blocking your view. They're just like deer. Sometimes you need to let them move so that person go see you, because when they are blocking your view, nobody else will see you, So 2 years, move so that I can be visible. You know what I'm saying? I can be visible, because when somebody people are seeing you with that guy, they're not going to want to come talk to you. They're like, respecting him, but 2 years, where is the relationship going? Joy Inc., Joy PLC. I'm going to come out for road, make person see me. Okay, come out for road, make person see me. The worst one is 4 years. Please don't do it. So when you feel that you're stagnant, you might want to have a board meeting, like I said, with yourself, or even your relationship. So when you feel your marriage is not where it's supposed to be, At first people want to just jump to counselor, but before you go to counselor, you have to have a board meeting. Like I told you, my dear little girl, so I told the family, no, we gotta have a board meeting, family meeting here, board meeting. Let's have this family meeting so we know where we are going. If we are going to here, we go. If we are going to there, we go. Let's know where we are going. So the same thing. It's the same thing when you feel that you're stagnant. Just generally in life, it doesn't even have to do with marriage or relationship, but in life you feel that you're stagnant. There's no need to be depressed. Just do a board meeting with yourself, by yourself. Take your book, write your name there. Write your name. Which I will call, Maria Inc., Margaret Inc., Victoria Inc., Elizabeth Inc., or PLC, LLC, incorporated. The day your mama born you, you're incorporated, you're a human being by yourself. Full. I tell people, I think in one of our classes I said, I'm not, they say, oh, you're better half. No, I have no better half. I'm a complete human being. I'm incorporated. The day my mother born me, 2 hands, 2 legs, 32 teeth come out now grown, 1 nose, 2 eyes, I get 1 head, my organs are complete, 2 kidney, everything complete. So I got no better half. I am incorporated. When you say I'm incorporated, I am PLC. So it is me that control this thing with God. You don't let nobody else control this. You control this with God first. So when you are right with God, then you know that life is going to be going the way, the direction you want. So in any kind of stagnation that you're in, have a meeting by yourself, in marriage, with your spouse. And if the thing extended to your children, and whatever you're going through have extended to your children, you need to have a family meeting. But first, listen, let's pick from the world. Before the meeting will come to us, guess what? The upper level of my company will have the meeting first. Now my manager or my director will now bring whatever the decision was at the upper level and say, okay, this is where the company is going. This is what we're going to be doing for the next 1 year. This is the vision. This is the theme. They say the true north, that north, here coming. This is what we're going to be focusing on. But the upper level, so the husband and wife have that board meeting first. Those are the upper level. They are the management level before the children can also, okay, then they can come and say, okay, children, this is where we are going. This is where we are going, because I have a sad case right now where the child is so bitter and is in his 30s because of the father and the mother breakup when he was, how old was he? Maybe in his 20s. So in his 30s, he's still bitter. So I had to tell the mother, I said, you don't have to do much about it, because right now he's an adult, he's in his 30s, he should live and respect whatever happened between you and your husband. Then if you people could not deal with it, it's unfortunate, because the guy is dead now. So we have to, first, the top level management, have board meetings. But first, you have your PLC meeting by yourself, in the quiet of your room. Instead of watching that every time you're on the phone, you're doing YouTube, you're watching this, you're listening to music. No, sometimes you have to shut down the music, shut down the TV and say, you know what, maybe once a quarter, or once or twice in a year, you have to have your own meeting, because you have to look for your own progress. Are you wanting progress for yourself? You don't have to wait for somebody to have one progress for you, but it's you, personal. You have to want progress for yourself, by yourself. So you're going to look for your own progress. So set up a time, just like you set up a time to do your budget. I hope you do that every month. Every time you get paid, you must actually sit down. See, that is where board meeting comes in too. So it transfers to how you spend your money. You have board meeting on your payday, before your payday actually, where you write down everything. That's budgeting. So board meeting. So even board meeting, finances are discussed. They discuss finances. They discuss the welfare of the staff. They discuss the welfare of the company. So these are things that come on the table. Let's transfer that to our personal life. So discuss your finance by yourself in your PLC. How am I doing financially, sir? Write it down. Am I in debt? So that's where Joy Inc. comes in. Joy Inc. is out of debt. See, Joy Inc. is out of debt. I'm so super excited. Joy Inc. is out of debt. Are you out of debt? or you give up that, okay, I'm going to be in debt. I said this is going to, this process is going to be a little long because, just like I have to talk about this. So Joy Inc. is out of debt. Robert Inc., are you out of debt? Leslie Inc., are you out of debt? See, if you do not have that board meeting with yourself first, you're just going to be walking on everybody's wave. No, so let's take time. Do your board meeting, your self-evaluation. You can call it that. But I call it board meeting because then you can make it, more fun. You might even want to check into an hotel weekend by yourself. You can do that, right? You can do that, right? How many of you have done that before? I have a friend. On her birthday, she leaves her house. Like literally. She leaves her house, goes to the hotel, and checks in. What am I going to do with her? What in the world am I going to do with this, my lovely friend? On her birthday. I guess that's a good time to do your, that's once a year. To say, okay, this is Joy Inc. board meeting. So she actually leaves her house. She's married with children. She's like, it's my birthday. I don't want a celebration. So she gets out of her house, goes to an hotel. If the husband pays for it, good. If the husband don't, she doesn't report it. She pays, checks herself in the hotel for the weekend. It's her birthday weekend. I mean, I can't force that. I can fight that. Hopefully one day I'll get to do something like that. And that would be fun. Even though I thought about doing that, I was like, it's going. I don't know. But maybe one day I'm gonna, give myself that treat all by myself. Have my own self-retreat, my board meeting by myself. You can do that, right? Do your board meeting by yourself first. So check your finances, like I said. Check your relationship. 6 months, nothing happened. 1 year, 2 years, oh boy, waiting they happen. Come off my front. They are blocking the view. Except you like to be like that, That's what Annie did. Too, Baba. Stay and keep staying and keep staying. Person they get belly for the wife. She still stay. I don't know. She's a special kind of breed. I love her. And I'm praying for her too. So it is what it is. But rediscover your vision. Re-engage yourself. Good time to introduce and discuss stuff. A time to reconnect with yourself. A time to re-energize your vision and yourself. And a time to see where you're coming from, where you're going, where you are right now. Time for Joy Inc. board meeting. So board meeting. Let's go ahead. Let's do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for your marriage. Do it for the sake of your children, especially if you have children. And especially right now, if you feel that your marriage is in a stagnant place and nobody seems to be understanding what's going on, nobody seems to be communicating. There's some marriages, people are just living together, but they're just existing. They just say that they don't talk other than, hey, hi, that's it. How are you? Are you going to eat? You don't want to eat? Okay, let's go. Next, So when you get to that place, when I'm trusting that the head of the house, who is, because it's a corporation. Your marriage is a corporation. It's a living organism. And it takes, the people who are in the upper level management. It's okay. Board meeting is December 25 or board meeting is November 14. We're going to be meeting at wherever. Let's go. And everybody pack up. It's easier for the head of the house to say, okay, board meeting is here and everybody go. It's not as easy for the woman to say, board meeting is here, let us go. For some time, maybe, I don't know how easy that would be for the woman to say, board meeting is here, let us go, So I hope that this will be helpful to somebody. I hope that somebody's going to take this and work on it and run with it, starting with yourself as the first organization that exists, because you have to exist first before you do a merger. Before AT&T can merge with T-Mobile, AT&T had to exist first. T-Mobile has to exist first. They exist as two different organisms that are having their two different board meetings. Then one day they decide, AT&T and CNN or Turner, whatever that thing is, decide, okay, we're going to merge. So because marriage is a merger of two people, two entities, two organizations, two people that should be originally doing board meeting by themselves before they can come together. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope it will be helpful. I hope that before you merge, that you're going to do your own PLC board meeting, and after you merge, that you will continue to do your board meeting. is very important. If you want that company to continue to grow and to survive and to thrive, you need to have board retreats where the top management must meet to discuss. Is very important. No communication, no company.